Yeah, Point Black coming on a recap. You know what I'm saying? Of another side. You know, because I heard some news and I seen some things about my man, young Pharaoh, and he seems to be going through a lot right now. But the brethren is a powerful brethren based on the fight and the struggle in which we fight. Everybody has his right to fall or to go whatever route or whatever game they play sometimes in the game, and we have to understand that. I see a nice, intelligent brother up there. You know, he was critiquing on Pharaoh and the conscious community, Umar Johnson and the rest of those people. You know what I'm saying? And they do their thing. But at the same time, we don't need to see the antics all the time and to be critiquing and looking at them from this direction and that direction. You know, they did what they did and they're out there in the struggle and they went through the struggle as well themselves, you know what I'm saying, such as I did, and so on and so on. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we have to respect the young Pharaoh has been through so much and now probably going through some things, have lost some things, this, that, and the third. We don't know why. He knows his problems. He know what he has to do. He know what direction he's trying to get to or where he may be going. You know what I'm saying? And some of the things he's saying out of his mouth seems to be a little accusation to the fact that he's doing, mushrooms or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But basically, we don't need to go too far with that because we as brethren know when one lion goes through something or have his time to do his personal overstanding of whatever he's choosing in life to do because of whatever problems has come, we must step up and take the spot until he returns, until the Pharaoh returns to where he belongs. And we must guard and protect the Pharaoh in his time of need or in his time of whatever the issues may be. So, this is Point Black saying, young Pharaoh, this is Point Black, Sergeant at Arms, Jordan Sheriff. You know what I'm saying stay the fight, stay the struggle, stay what you're doing. I see some accusations being swung around in a sense on my man Sarah Sultan said he saying he might be working for this one and the government and so on and all kinds of conspiracy about the general, saying he been in jail, he been in the military, so on and so on and so on. But as long as he's dropping the facts, you know what I'm saying, because there is many people that do many things, and Point Black ain't one of the persons you just going to run around. You know what I'm saying? I watch everything, you know what I'm saying, because some people could even have the release of the conscious community over explosion that went on all the way up to now. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the general and so forth and polite and all these niggas, started pushing up and was doing it for years before, but probably was in the quiet side of it, you know what I'm saying? But now they out in the front and the videos and so on that we have YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Don't think that we're not looking at each other because that's the way we have to check each other within the realm. Nobody's accusing anybody of anything. And at the same time, if it is so that he is doing this, but he's dropping that good science, let it be. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to sit here and argue about any departure between the two, Pharaoh and General Seti separating because they used to be together all the time. I'm just going to come out with it the way it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to even hide the names. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not coming at you. What I'm coming with is love and understanding because I love what they do. I love, the way they flaws it. I love them as a human being on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? Same as me. We're not different from each other. But at the same time, they have, the general is dropping that fire. But at the same time, some people could easily say a simple thing like this. They're going to say, well, the reason why it's happening this way right now is to set black people off into these riots and different things that are going on and standing up. Well, guess what? I'm not promoting anything and I'm giving my disclaimer. You know what I'm saying? Black people have to step up and do something about the problems we have all across the global planet. You know what I'm saying? Because our people built this thing and have always been here long before anyone else. This is not nothing to do with no CRT or no race theory. This has to do with reality. And we must face that fact. You know what I mean? So if somebody's doing something and bringing powerful information to aggravate and agitate, you know what I'm saying? Maybe sometimes that's what black people need. You know what I'm saying? to be agitated and to be able to start to move. You know what I'm saying? Africa must be on the move. You know what I'm saying? We see an increase in even the African continent. So we must, the growth rate of our people as well. So we must keep that. Don't let anything come in and sway that part, as we see in South Africa with the factory, they over there with the scientific laboratory and everything over there making the stuff. So we have to watch even the governor over there as well, because he seems shady. But at the same time, they can build what they want to build. The people just have to be able to do the research and the understanding of what it is, or what is they need, or what is it they may agree to or say that they're going to, because you are grown. And if you're not teaching your kids the rightful things and you're making bad decisions, that's on you, because that choice you made. We can't all reach each other because we're not next to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, General speaks a lot about going back to Africa, and I understand that. I'm all for that. I love my African women. But at the same time, and I need some wives, but at the same time, we have to still clear that way. Because if we go there and then it's a whole bunch of other problems or whatever, we need more clarity on where and how people, because when stuff break out over there and shit, it gets real. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like over here. You know what I'm saying? And now we don't know where the warriors stand, because we already see the confusion going on across the land over here as well. So we must now, find a way to get back the unification that, we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because even when we look at Soros, you know what I'm saying, he pays out millions of dollars just to get his candidates. You know what I'm saying? Soros is a deep state to me, and a crook, you know what I'm saying, as he wants to be. You know what I mean? And, he needs to get his dumb behind ass out of our government. It would be a big help, Soros. You know what I'm saying? Get out of our USA as well, government. You know what I mean? To me, his cultures and background, I think maybe Russian. I'm not sure, but it might be Russian. At that, and that speaks for Biden as well. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something about it, because we see the corruption and the game that they're playing. Most of their moves, you know what I'm saying, is already exposed. You know what I mean? Because they're doing a bunch of garbage. And that's a fact and point blank. I'm just going to keep it 100 with that. You know what I'm saying? We see it. We see this chaos. We see the moves. They still prove they are, using as we see. Soros, to me, funded Black Lives Matter, if I'm not sure, or those who may have been within the organization. We heard a little something about that. You know what I'm saying? So we just going to keep it 100 on the Richter. You know what I'm saying? You choose to follow that, that's you. I don't follow that. I follow the People's Party, the PLM. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. The mother comes first. The black woman is God. You know what I'm saying? But we see the Black Lives Matter bullshit. So to me was supposed to be used to bring in martial law. So when Biden signed them 38 executive laws, it was well, it was well to be justified. You know what I'm saying? As we see with the broad, I think it was the with the broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody running through broad daylight and robbing and stealing. We see the broad daylight robbery going on downtown there in California with Gavin Crazy, Luciferian Crooked South. You know what I'm saying? We see bail reform to let the people out of jail and so on. And this is what they're preaching on the podium to the American people. And the American people are sitting there like as if this shit is just some joke or something he's just saying out his mouth. But he's in the political arena, and he's in the chief and commander seat, where he can make laws that can come down on our head. You know what I'm saying? And we as the people have a right to fight back based on the Constitution in which was put forth. Black people even have a hard time even balancing through that Constitution, because a lot of it needs to be truly reformed. But reformed in only a way of righteousness, you know what I'm saying, in the right direction, not of who ruling and who class of race, and you got the horse race, you got the dog race, like how Molly said, you got the human race, you know what I mean, and all this garbage. You see. But it needs reform in itself. But the reform, this is all of the ramping up of their chaotic moves. You see. You know what I mean? This is of their chaotic move. And Soros, like Anthony Fox, the Weasel, is, sitting with millions, you know, but got the nerve, I should say, got the nerve to control, boldly, to control, you know, and boldly doing it. Because they're using this thing as their excuse as to the overreach. Everybody can clearly see that. You know what I'm saying? With millions, you know what I'm saying? But got the nerve, to drive our country, out of control. Boldly at that. You know, showing their bullshit. And that's a fucking point blank. So we've got to come better, and we've got to start looking at this thing from a more better perspective. You know what I'm saying? They keep on blocking my views and comments. Yes, point blank do come a little strong from time to time and so on, but sometimes people got to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And my job as a sergeant is to drive the troops. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to a righteous cause that we call full Americans. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean. We have got to dig deeper. You know what I'm saying? We've got to dig deeper because we hear because we hear the hearsay. You know what I'm saying? Because we hear hearsay seems to be the controller of the wicked power over the masses. Without and not even no proof. Only what is created, by man's hand. You see. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? By man's hand. You see? But say not. And your misinformation, because that's the new thing. Everybody's misinformation and so on and so on, and constantly calling and saying I disrespect this and disrespect that and block my views. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's their channel. They can do as they like. I'm not here to argue with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? But they call our misinformation our voice. Our voice must be silent. You know what I'm saying? But our voice must not be silent by the wicked behavior, pushing us to the edge. While they, use COVID-19 to do so. We need proof, not gimmicks. And we've got to cut that out. You know what I'm saying? This is still, you know what I'm saying? This we got to cut the gimmicks out. That is still taking life. We can't be gimmicking while this thing is taking life. You see what I'm saying? Here and abroad. Here and abroad. So South Africans has got to work harder. You got to work. You got the work of that black power. You know what I'm saying? In mind. Because we see a plan for South Africa and Africans, you know what I'm saying, as a whole. You know? So we must watch the leaders more closely as to their words of convince as to truth and what is not. Don't be fooled only by sight and hearsay. You must dig deeper for the truth, evidence, not just process. You know what I'm saying? Not just process. Not just process. We got to look for more than that. Not just process. Not only issues. We don't overstand. Is how. So we've got to dig deeper for the truth. The only issue, you know what I'm saying? We don't need we do need overstanding. You know what I'm saying? It's how. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact. Point blank. We can't be slipping and sliding and dodging and riding. That's not going to work as we see. Because what becomes of that type of behavior based on the whole ideology that, we see something but we can't say anything. You see. You know what I'm saying? That we can't say anything. And that should not be when you look at it. How is that? How is that even a possible overstanding to anything at all? Which doesn't make much sense. It doesn't make much sense. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to look at this thing more carefully. You know what I'm saying? You know? We've got to look at this thing more carefully. Because if we don't, we're going to find ourselves in a bad place. You know what I'm saying? In a bad place. So we've got to do better, when it comes to that. Because it seems like we're not looking at this thing from a higher form. You see? We're not looking at this thing from a higher form at all. So we've got to look at this thing more carefully. Because there is no way that we should be left in the dust when it comes to what we know should be. You know what I'm saying? What we know should be. We're left in a position where we're still trying to figure out, who and what and where. But we've got to get rid of the who and the what and the where because we need more than just that. You see? We need more than just that. We need more than just that. There is no way we're going to just sit here and allow these things to happen, but we don't have any understanding of, what we need. You know what I'm saying? And what we need to know as what it is that is out there that is, what's going on. We need more. We need more. And we find ourselves in a bad position. You know what I'm saying? We find ourselves in a very, very, very bad position, as a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? We got to come off this process thing. Because with the process thing, we're stuck in a position of is it or is it not? You see? And nobody should be stuck in that position. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be stuck in that position. And this is where a lot of brothers are going to find themselves as well. So we've got to make sure that we understand where we're coming from when it comes to these things. We must watch the governors more closely. You know what I mean? He could possibly be on the tape. Now that they say there's a new variant coming from South Africa. You know what I'm saying? Coming from South Africa. You see? So we must watch that. We can't just go with the process. We must watch closely because we don't know, you know what I'm saying, if there is something going on. Because the regular people would not have that definitive answer. Excuse me on that before. But the governor, we need to watch him more closely because he could be on the take. Because if you notice the variants coming from South Africa, the depopulation and the population of Africans, is on the way and doing very well. But we see we don't want to hear anything about no depopulation. You know what I'm saying? Of African people. We don't want to hear that. Oh, no way. Starting in South Africa, they are, to me, seems to have, you know, it's already on a wrong step. You know, you know, because when we look at it, we still don't see how it's getting from there to there, but that's their thing. And we beginning to understand that now it's a whole bunch of it going on down there. And then saying, same like in now. You know what I'm saying? Now, South Africa, every time it's supposed to be, you know, supposed to be coming or supposed to be ending or coming to endemic, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere where their cronies might be, sit, you know, will activate a new one. You know, when you look at it, they're full of doo doo. We must make them prove it, not just say it. Because it keeps, you know what I'm saying, traveling as to where where it is a global overstanding, to where it's a global overstanding when we look at it. You know, it's becoming a global epidemic thing and it's constantly moving to where it's become a global, you know. But how can it be global when it comes out in a certain country, you know, and then all of a sudden it spread so fast? And can they prove that? Is what I'm asking. Because we are talking about the reason why it's not misinformation, we're talking about people's lives. It's the same thing if an invasion was coming. The military can't protect every single body. You know what I'm saying? So you're saying you know this in a stream of time, and then you put the restrictions and so on and all of that. Like Como did. You know what I'm saying? Como Romoraz. You know? But, you know, it still does not hold water in its process, is what I'm saying. You know? So how did it, you know, they would have to prove it. So either it's hearsay or what they given is the same as to what given here and globally. So we see, you know, so we see, you know, so we see. So we know now, as we should say, excuse me, the carry on is on. And that's a fact. And point blank. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. And point blank. The carry on is the carry on. You know what I'm saying? And that's point blank. We are in this, but we must win this. So concerning our situation, we now are not talking about just a virus. We're now talking about, according to their news, it's mutations. So we've got to stop this. We've got to stop this movement. We got to stop this movement. Because if they find it, then confine it. How is it considered? You know, if we see this goes global, something is wrong with this new variant of mutations. Something is very wrong in what they're doing. Because I don't see no security based on protecting Americans when we have open borders. You know what I'm saying? And the people in the open borders that's coming in, they don't need to be, you know, a mass and testing and treatment or none of that. They're exempt, even coming from overseas in Africa to here, Afghanistan, I think. They don't have to do it. And according to the analyst to the news, I was listening, he said the analyst saying it's not the same as frontline to them. But that's a slap in the American people's face, and you're full of garbage and you're lying again. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I say to that. You know what I'm saying? But if this go globally, something is wrong. And there's the need to be, you know, there needs to be, a closer look at this. You know, a closer look at how not just the spread. And if you know, then contain it. You know, but treatment is not the only way. And it seems like there's something deadly wrong with the situation. Nobody was talking about not healing. We're talking about procedure or compound of liquid of treatment, as we want to put it. But the Biden administration, explained why treatment mandates don't apply to immigrants. And when asked why immigrants shouldn't, be required to be treated, upon entry into the U.S., the DHS Secretary Alejandro, I think his name is, explained the analyst for the immigrants is quite different than for the federal workforce. That leads by example is what he was saying, But to me, he's lying somewhere, and they are moving us out and moving them in. Sounds like an American genocide, if you ask me. You know what I mean? It sounds like some form of American genocide, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? It's very weird, But fair is fair, and we need all people to be checked. They are trying to cover their crimes. They do not want true Americans, to what they have already, done for 47 years. They don't want true America, Americans. Because look at what they have really done for 47 years to start. You know what I mean? So to hide, their shame that will knock them off their throne. They're doing everything in the world to make sure that they have sold us out. When we really look at it somewhere, you are going to have to wake up now, Americans. How blind can we be? You know what I mean? They are trying to cheat a new ruling class rather than give it back to the black man. They will not give it back. And we gotta face that, especially when it comes to them clowns. So we can make peace. And in other words, to me, they really need to give it back to the black man so we can make peace and clean this up. Don't think that we can't. And I don't know who told them that. You know what I'm saying? But they need to give it back so we can make peace and share in the world in which we live. And that's a fucking point blank. You know what I'm saying? But Biden aims to do what no other president, often can't. When we look at even the borrowing of the money and the amount, he's trying to say he can beat inflation. If there's such a thing, but if it is, it was caused by them. As we see, there's no reason for any kind of inflation. So we know somebody's in control of the flow. That we do know. So they can make or break the people. You see what I'm saying? By getting them dependent on imports and not producing exports. So let's get 100% there. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason, for the bottlenecking of the supply chain. Talking about, we won't understand the issues. Oh, really? So now Biden's saying we ain't gonna understand the issues. The only issues, is that we don't understand how you ever became the president in the first place over Trump. That's the fact we want to understand. Not saying that we ride in Trump back, because Trump has his faults as well. You know what I'm saying? But we still trying to find that out. In the first place, over my man Trump, bad, baby. And we overstand your bull. It's called mandates. What Biden should be doing is stop that program, along with Kathy Hochul. She's saying it has not hit New York yet, but it's coming. Question: how do she know that? If you knew about it a long time ago, prior to what's coming or what not coming, all of a sudden it's coming, and you know that for sure. Even Channel 12 News is saying the same thing. It's coming, but how do she know that for sure? That it has traveled, I should say, that quick. Notice a flight, has come in from South Africa, I guess many flights, and the first thing they had to do was be tested. They tested them. Notice that we notice, or we should say, tested them. Notice that we need to clean this out because, because we are being played, I should say. And the South Africans agreed to this mess but we need to drive them out.